呀，当然都云地细雨，你那些期间嘛，因为他什上去了多少呢？什么单元的，干嘛这个？
Now this session I'd like you to focus on scanning Lamrim meditation by reciting the foundation of all good qualities 3 times, and each stanza 3 times, and then spending a minute reflecting on the content of the stanza.
Page 20. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect Guru. Correctly following Guru is the root of the path. I may clearly see less and applying great effort. Please bless me to rely upon the Guru with great respect. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect Guru. Correctly following the Guru is the root of the path. I may clearly see less and applying great effort. Please bless me to rely upon the Guru with great respect. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect Guru. Correctly following the Guru is the root of power. I find clearly see less and applying great effort. Please bless me to rely upon the Guru with great respect. When I have discovered that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, it is extremely difficult to find again great freedom more. Please bless me to unceasingly generate the mind, taking exercises day and night. When I have discovered that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, it is extremely difficult to find again and is greatly needed more. Please bless me to unceasingly generate the mind, taking exercises day and night. When I have discovered that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, it is extremely difficult to find again and is greatly meaningful. Please bless me to unceasingly generate the mind, taking exercises day and night. This body and life are unchanging, like a water bubble. Remember how quickly they perish and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of black and white come follow. This body and life are changing like a water bubble. Remember how quickly they perish and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of black and white come follow. This body and life are changing like a water bubble. Remember how quickly they perish and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of black and white come follow. pronounced definite conviction in this. Please bless me always to be conscientious in the vanity, despite collecting shortcomings, and in accomplishing all virtuous deeds. When I have found definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be conscientious in the vanity, despite collecting shortcomings, and in accomplishing all virtuous deeds. When I have found definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be conscientious and abandoning despite collecting shortcomings, and in accomplishing all virtuous deeds. When I have recognized the shortcomings of samsaric affections, there is no satisfaction in enjoying them. They are the doors of all suffering, and they cannot be trusted. Please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. When I have recognized the shortcomings of samsaric affections, there is no satisfaction in enjoying them. They are the doors of all suffering, and they cannot be trusted. Please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. When I have recognized the shortcomings of samsaric affections, there is no satisfaction in enjoying them. They are the doors of all suffering, and they cannot be trusted. Please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Through my being led by this pure thought, with great remembrance, alertness, and conscientiousness, please bless me to make keeping the individual liberation vows of the teachings my essential practice. Through my being led by this pure thought, with great remembrance, alertness, and conscientiousness, please bless me to make keeping the individual liberation vows of the Buddha teachings my essential practice. Through my being led by this pure thought, with great remembrance, alertness, and conscientiousness, please bless me to make keeping the individual liberation vows of the Buddha teachings my essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, my deeds. By my seniors, please bless me to train the supreme bodhicitta, which bears the responsibility of freeing transmigrated beings. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all other transmigrated beings. By my seniors, please bless me to train the supreme bodhicitta, which bears the responsibility of freeing transmigrated beings. Just as I have fallen Even if I develop only bodhicitta, without familiarizing myself with the three types of morality, I cannot achieve enlightenment. By my seeing this well, please bless me to keep the vow of the sons of victorious ones with fervent effort. Even if I develop only bodhicitta, without familiarizing myself with the three types of morality, I cannot achieve enlightenment. By my seeing this well, please bless me to keep the vow of the sons of victorious ones with fervent effort. Even if I develop only bodhicitta, without familiarizing myself with the three types of morality, I cannot achieve enlightenment. By my seeing this well, please bless me to keep the vow of the sons of victorious ones with fervent effort. By my having pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to quickly generate within my mind stream the unified path of karma abiding and special insight. By my having pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to quickly generate within my mind stream the unified path of karma abiding and special insight. By my having pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to quickly generate within my mind stream the unified path of karma abiding and special insight.
다 단단히 규 파르시메 테보다 데부도지 테보스다 테보를 많이는 유두고요다 나머선이 최 탐제 최dü나 규 테보다 데부 테보스로 테고라야 디 칼라고스나니 저 겐잘 강베 바틱스도 니 겐잘 번이 토발리기도 디나신 아니 두자심제 탐제 코알레야 코와 자존안에야 겐자 자지도야 그 탐남들라 테고 다디 아니 규 테고다 데부 테고스 아니 규들라다 단다디 니 다단다 윤지 시기지나 투무 남자님들 규가 나서 투무 남자들이 다 투무 남자들 라면데 뭐랑다는 거저 당기 니 요신이 된 주기 다 태고 탐제 주 탐제에게 자와차기로 아니 디네 된조 된지 지원미다 원래 준데 장도 디제디 규충제 안데 네 타버드니로 원래 규팅제 chanju 심고데 규침뭐 신내랑도 공다디게 마제다 chanju 심 심베고는 냠면제디 규침보스 도스샤나 규침이 준좀 독스 이게 미샤드 레지다 롭지직 갸브레스로
The comments on the next stanza. All Buddhist teachings are subsumed by common perfection vehicle and uncommon Vajrayana vehicle. And so vehicle or tekpa, tekpa is to carry someone from one to the next and raise, like the rungs of the step. Just as one places a foot on the rung, it supports one to move up to the next one. in the same way, one bears a responsibility of moving, taking sentient beings from one state to the next state until the state of enlightenment. And then the text says here, Tumung Lamjong Nudu Yobana, when I have become a receptacle for the common perfection vehicle. So the common perfection vehicle in the foundation, according to the foundation of all qualities, starts with having and relying on an experienced, qualified, and knowledgeable guru. And of course, that is common to all yanas. So then, common perfection vehicle includes all the practices of the lower scope, precious human rebirth, impermanence, law of karma. And then next one is practice of middling scope, who understands the reality of samsara and develops genuine yearning for liberation, and and the practice of three high training for that purpose. Then the practice, the common perfection vehicle, incorporates Mahayana practice of a bodhicitta, karma abiding, and special insight. Loss.
다 투문라데 지나 갑디기야 다 투문람 가르사우스나 니중 창주스템 다 돈이도 벨람좀디 저다 투문람 차고레스와.
So here Tunmung was common. The common practices are, namely Ngejung, definite emergence due to yearning, definite emergence from samsara due to strong yearning, Ngejung. The next one is Jangjukisim, bodhicitta, or the altruistic intention for enlightenment. The third one is, of course, Tongpanyi, shunyata, or emptiness.
다 데베나 니중도지 투문 칸데 차와지 니중 라니 지골잖아 아니 투문 차야요 말아 팀이 대보면 봐 지고 차도라 다데 투문 칸데 차고라데 아니 체드쇼 심제 탐제 체드 산제 이고 마토베 체드 아니 미르딘 디 전단된 바치기 텐조 전단된 바치기 네 치워미다고다 근데 삼네 겨치마 심제 신의 편배치도 겨치마 밀르딘 터베치도 지긴람나 규충우다 규충배 라미아 투문차우도 디 심제기 된시와라 아니게 심제기 된시와라 산제고마토도 산제고마토와라 코아방도 코바들레 타르베 타와티니 로지고도 삼디 니중디 네 꾸노스네 대화준비 추나야 주스트네 투모 대화다 투모 차도도
So definite emergence, the word has been translated many times as renunciation. Now people say it's a definite emergence, or on a genuine wish for definite emergence, if you like. And so how is that common to the Mahayana context? How can we put definite emergence, which normally is the standard benchmark for someone interested in achieving their own liberation. So definite emergence cannot be okay. So how can we make definite emergence in Ngejung common with the Mahayana practice? So then if you think to yourself as follows: for the sake of all sentient beings are moved by samsaric things. So if you think to yourself, for the sake of all sentient beings, I need to achieve the state of, I need to achieve precious human rebirth again and again to connect with the Dharma practice I left off in last life. And before I lose this due to death and permanence. So therefore, for the sake of all sentient beings, may I achieve precious human rebirth, that is, um, that is definite emergence from the three lower realms to the upper realm as a human. So it's connected with the Mahayana for the sake of sentient beings. And then how can we relate it? How can we connect definite emergence with of the middle scope with the Mahayana? You think to yourself, for the sake of sentient beings, I need to achieve the state of highest enlightenment to deliver the promise of bodhicitta. But before I achieve the state of enlightenment, I must be free from samsara. And I and all other sentient beings must be free from samsara. Why? What's wrong with the samsara? There's nothing at all satisfying, and you recall all the imperfections, dissatisfactions of samsara. And then when you think to yourself, I need to get out of samsara for the good of all sentient beings. So one has connected definite emergence, yearning for liberation with Mahayana content.
다 미세 나게 찬주 셈세지 리기요라 다디 칼리고르스나 뉴르드로 당나도 산지 고마 투긴 콜라 타긴 있으면도 스티그면도 왔다 당나라도 뭐 밀링디나 동네 강에 같이 요지 통고도 왔다 대다 뉴르드 때문에 누가시 고고도 와체다 다디 뉴가디 카레스나 나가람 요인자니 뉴르드 산지 고마 투베치디 뉴가니디 타와타와치기 데이터베 탑람 마글람나 슈기인 나타 탑람지 고르바 탑람지 메나 뉴드 심지 튼다 두두바치기인 랍담지 두투에 마라 다 뉴드 수수 베든치드나 마글람도 하버드 단단도 차쟁기 냠데나다 탑람 시비도와 두유나도 콘도 레여야 그 삼다 남도 레여야 삼다 오래 다 단다 차쟁가라이나 남도 코란 야 람르키야 콘도 코란 람르키야 베딘 딘데기 탑란 야고디기 뉴로 임베 다 줌젠 딘도 드즈레도와 제단 뉴르드 네 타바타바 치기니 뉴르드 산제 고마타바 치기 뉴르드 심젠기 네 튼도바 치기 있을레데 아니 데 나게 찬죽 셈세고르 다데와
So then tantric ishilati ngejungdi ngade debaru
나게 자나 아니 뉴르드
kwale
코알레 타야게 치디 타바치기 타바토바치기 람나 나다 데베 니중 차용도
nos nga
나다 데베 찬중 셈 차용도
nos. So how can we connect ngejung definite emergence definite emergence from yearning for liberation with the Mahayana context, especially in tantric bodhicitta, bodhicitta in the tantric context. So it's all right to genuinely long for enlightened liberation for the sake of all sentient beings, enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. but we need to do it as swiftly as possible when you consider the dire situation all sentient beings are stuck in samsara. They have been undergoing excruciating suffering of body and mind, and one can't afford to wait, and we don't have the luxury of time to say we will make it to Buddhahood slowly but definitely, but how can we let them down? And therefore, driven by a sense of urgency to make it enlightenment, which is possible as soon as possible, then you think to yourself, may I be free immediately from samsara, then and then be connected in Buddhahood through such swift means as the means of Tantra. Tantric means, or Tantra is the dynamic, potent vehicle for swift attainment of Buddhahood, such as Mahamudra is the same. Mahamudra enables one to make it to Buddhahood swiftly. Why? Because mental afflictions, for example, that arise in the space of mind, which normally we tend to avoid, keep a distance away, distance from anger, jealousy, and whatnot. We avoid. Now they are used as a means. They are used as a means to be free from them. So whereby you look at anger, for example, and you watch anger, what it is like. And then as you watch the anger, what it is like, as we have seen, then it collapses on itself, and followed by a spacious, luminous, luminous, spacious space, and therefore we turn, we use renunciation in conjunction with all the practices of the three scopes.
미세 다 파진 대박이 아니 돈이도 별로디 로라고 돈이도 샤와 다 로라고디지 먼저 뭐 아니 시도도 로라고 참고 가도 왜요 단 로라고 참고 라고 냥아서 되다 뒤제 팀도 왜요 군도 제주세야 되네 로라고 참고 근데 팀도 로라고 참고 라고 냥에 걸로 팀도 보라 텔레 타워디 군도 제주세야 되네 팀도 보라 텔레다 타워디 가르스는 아니 육심 참여게 돈이도 코발마 돈이기 로코랑 돈이도 샤르바다 돈이도 샤도 코랑올에 주샤라 아니 다 저거 율람 차에 줌젠디 저도 내가 샤나 내가 율람 샤와 나 율람 바디 어딘데스니 칼스나 얘기진 라인 봐 심탐모디 최년래 마시니 코발라 코야게 주레스로 최년래 신이기 근데 라면 오제제야 산제설 도샤고 그래서 코발로 마도 얘기 주디 산제설이야 따나 아니 코바 도르고 왔다 코발레 타르고 제가 심 참여 돈이도 달는데 nga 나네 nga 라메 주지 주디 자주 주주네 주주도 심 참여 돈이도 다 시기요 말아 제가 nga 라메기 중디 태복군지 초교들에서 어디 뮬럼레서 와다 좀젠데 내가다 망보 마시는 데이터 디네 저셰 딜레 타두고지 아니 드래시래 요마르까 심 참여 돈이 돈이 산제살 도레시아 디셰온디 딜레 타투게다 산제당 그림마지 셰 요만다 타두게 태고래라야 돼 어디 내가 데이터 직심이나 아니 바자시우샤 그러라
With regard to emptiness, in the common, emptiness is understood by different levels of mind. It is understood in the common perfection vehicle by the mind, law, and that mind which meditates and perfectly understands emptiness is the coarse mind, not indwelling, timeless, subtle mind. It is the coarse mind. And coarse minds by nature, they cease, they come, they cease, they emerge, they cease, they emerge. So they cease at the time of death. At the time of death, as people know, the 25 things dissolve. Rakpa means 25 25 course items dissolve, and then the 25 core at the dissolution of 25 course items. Sorry, these 25 course items, then they dissolve into the 80 natural. Jeffrey Hopkins uses the term indicative thoughts, or natural, the 80 innate minds. And then as one goes through the process of death, then these 80 minds, 80 innate minds, further dissolve into the three kinds of empties. So then finally, these coarse minds, via 25 items, 80 natural innate minds, via 80, so with three empties, or the three appearances, then finally dissolve at the point of death into what is called death clear light. Death clear light, and death clear light is the most subtle indwelling timeless mind, and it is that I'm sorry, the translation, when that mind understands emptiness, it is extremely powerful, because the nature of that mind, the nature of emptiness are very, very much alike. And when that mind understands emptiness, it is most powerful. And the amazing thing here is that innate indwelling mind, when it understands emptiness, the person is liberated there and then. Or when it doesn't understand emptiness, then when that mind doesn't understand emptiness, the person repeats samsaric existence. So okay. So in this way, when the most subtle innate mind understands emptiness, when the most subtle okay, when the most subtle emptiness, when the most subtle innate mind understands emptiness, and there you have understood emptiness, and there's nothing more There's no more profound emptiness. There's no superior degree of emptiness which is understood by another superior means other than the most subtle mind itself. And therefore, Vajrayana, which is a means to tap into the indwelling mind and enabling it to understand emptiness, is called Tartu Tekpa, the ultimate vehicle. As I said before, there's no more to go beyond. One has reached the zenith of the yanas.
Zokjengone di tandi nyungsim chamu tunying usum togwade. Ta zokjengone di redo washeda. Ta zokjeng gomge nina, zokjeng gomgu yosina, tunying usum to dozarda. Ni kawalesda, rwa. Kisa zokjeng gomye mangwe yore, tunyi hamogo ni zokjeng gomye mangwe dwada. Zokjeng gomgu yos ingpar dewe yore. Tunyi ki dodan shedi da gokran tsugo amare. Ni zokjeng khande gomgore. Zokjeng one di tunying usum tanda nyuksim chame tunying usum dogwade zokjeng re. Ta taba one topsare. Taba topsare. Yelarwa.
그래서 타부터 버스를 양대도 상기하고 보면서
Ta dirwa. Taba topsana. Tabe lam yos dogwade chorwa. Nga chena. Di gejing nibadila taba togu yore. Zokjeng zina. Ta nyuksim chame tunying usum dewe gejing nibadila taba togu yore. Gejing tangbodi 다 nyambuchewa nyomo nyundigi nyambuche kiji nibadi ani tabato namdo namto 제가 nga 타바디 토남니 내가 스토고 열어
나스
나게 근데 림바시가 튕기외세지 이게 야 당연히 네 계정이와디네 나고 토남 토고도와 제단디 계직 당보디 토남 토글라 그랬다 타바 토글라 그래요 와
나스
계정이와들라 타바 토사래 제단 다 적진원에 디 동ning 무슨 더고 육심 참여 동ning 무슨 적진체 먼저 소지에게 단달람기 bombe리는 적진 bombe 람기 림바 적 bombe 림바를 미시지 적진 거에디 말해서 딱고 타니지 단담 면도 쉬위 용거다 된다고네 되겠다 기생 밥사직을 바구래 손서 이게 바용 거다데
So when we have heard this name of a profound yana called Dzogchen, the great completion. What is a great completion? Great completion is empirical insight, experience of emptiness of inherent existence by the most subtle, indwelling, timeless mind. When the subtle mind directly understands emptiness and sees emptiness, experiences emptiness, and there is the great completion. There is a great completion. So, today there are many people who like to practice Dzogchen, which is admirable, but not very much with the sound understanding of emptiness. What is emptiness? So to be a real practitioner of Dzogchen, a person needs to be at a higher level of development where they have a kind of a spiritual technology to go into the deepest level of their consciousness, the innate subtle mind, and which then directly experiences emptiness. So Dzogchen is a practice of understanding emptiness by someone at a very higher level. So when the innate mind understands emptiness, the first moment of that understanding is the uninterrupted path, or Nyembo means antidote. In the second moment, they are liberated, and that is unlike common perfection vehicle, where liberation attains at the end of a no more learning path. In Tantra, a practitioner achieves nirvana on the tantric path of seeing, and the tantric path of seeing is a stage where the practitioner is engaged with Rinpoche Dungyu Wese, means the actual clear light, meaning the actual clear light of the fourth stage of completion stage. So when the tantric process, which goes the tantric practice of the highest yoga tantra, when a practitioner is on the process of moving to the stage of Dzogchen, great completion, that the stages are called completion stages or completion stages. That is when a tantric practitioner has not reached, for example, the part of the tantric part of seeing, and that is called Dzogchen, completing or completion stages. So, as we saw the other day, whether you approach by Dzogchen or whether you approach by completion stages or any other means, ultimately they all boil down to the same point: understanding emptiness. Understanding emptiness by Sim Tamu, by the most subtle mind. So could you recite the last stanza, and then we'll do some meditation.
When I have become a suitable vessel by training in the common path, please bless me to immediately enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme of all vehicles, the Vajrayana. As I become a suitable vessel by training in the common path, please bless me to immediately enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme of all vehicles, the Vajrayana. When I have become a suitable vessel by training in the common path, please bless me to immediately enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme of all vehicles, the Vajrayana.
So could you now do a breathing meditation for some time?
나와 빈둥한데 레돌라서 난도지 제주kan 요메 주세 냠바샤스야 아니 나데지 제메주 마음에 두면서 다다 셰와 소마마주 로버샤스야 어디게 바림디게 마지 겹셔스라.
So now could you do first a short breathing meditation. After that, count the cycles of the breath 21 times. At the end of counting and sim serige chalo to some means at the end of counting the cycle 21 times. Try to see, try to or watch or see the translucent and knowing mind for some time, and see how long you are able to engage empirically with the luminous or translucent vacuous knowing space of the mind. And when thoughts arise again, when thoughts arise again in the space of that of the mind, watch the thoughts, and as you watch the thoughts, then see what happens to them. They fade away, they disappear, they vanish. And then some appearance will arise. Some appearance, be it image, experience, feeling, some appearance will arise in the mind. And then rest your mind on it by recalling stanza 13 of the root text. Unwavering, remain in equipoise briefly in this natural state of evolving appearances, without contriving anything with such thoughts as hopes, fear, and the like, and then without going to the past or going to the future, without needing to make it better, nothing, just rest on this appearance in the space of the mind after the disappearance of the thought.
Simnang, that to me, I'm the dam the shadow. The Bakaya love the Dumas. Many shoes not much shook to Busha to the Targan all of her touch, this day of the and if go Yeve Chadilla, number of Yeve Chadilla, don't sound of Jilena, Tagra, same age, yet to not your.
So when Nam talk, by now you have heard this and you know what it means. Thoughts arise. Don't become concerned that they have arisen, and therefore don't try to block them, put an end to them. Just watch them, or just watch it or them. As you keep watching, the mind's attention is now on the thought itself. And as it is watched, it becomes less and less apparent, and then it fades and vanishes, followed by Dong Sung. Dong, emptiness. Sung means kind of overwhelming, expansive Sung. So over spacious emptiness of the absence of the thought, and then remain in that spacious emptiness space of the mind.
Oh, yeah. Drilling your one, drilling la that's all. Tumu Gilam, ne, you ding da, you chimbo tumu. You chung da, you chimbo tumu. Ane, Pajin Tewe Gilam, da, nga Gilam, tumu. Ane tumu Gilam, da, Mangoji Yuan, zo de, sum, Nijung, Chanjuk Sim, Tony do Velo, Tiedi, da tumu Gilam, Dumshirin, da tumu Lam so hasna de. Tisumdi da tepa chembyoge lam doi na nyamne chego yore ngala yena tisumdi nyamne ma chena dosa yogo yamara tumu sya dirwa di da do chi nga ge de temba la shuya ge da rumshi ro chajen ro de tije de mena da ngala shuya yomara da ro tije de chi chungna to wa gyule gyo temena zöme ge nyo de zöje ge nyo de temena be yiju zum ji ko ji temena da de la 뭐가 요하다. 단다 가나 간장지 시에된요. 근데지당 요하되고 여러 어디에디 야구지 시에체 전주성 가래 이중 가래 동리 도당 가래다 택다 계저 망고시에 여러 데로.
그래서 to say 네 투모 도당 저러.
투모 도당.
그래서 give 중우당
give 중우당 give 딩 투모 도당. give 중우당 give 침부 투모 도당.
give 딩당 give 침부. 나와서
아니 드네다 파르치메 대과다 도자다 도당 아니기 두모에 대과와 두모에 전주sem다 닝지도서 닝지 말다 돈이도 별로다 닝중디게데 도당 아니 두모도 도당 이디네 가지래 돌아.
So this afternoon discussion, could you talk about common basis between the practice of low scope and middling scope, and the commonality between middling and advanced scope, middling scope and advanced scope, and commonality between kind of a common factors. Commonality between common perfection and tantra. What are the common factors? Shared common factors between perfection vehicle and tantra in the form of the three principal paths: nghệ chung, bodhicitta, and emptiness. So, and how these three things provide. Domshi means the major framework for tantra. If one understands, rather, if one has a direct experience of them, that is the best thing. If not, the next framework would be, I'll just translate again. If one has a direct experience of the three factors or three principles part, that is the best framework for tantric practice. And if one has some intellectual understanding, if one has some intellectual, if one has spontaneous, not directly develop them, but have uncontrived understanding of them or experience of them. If not, then contrived understanding or contrived. If not, then some and then yiju means you have some understanding, although you have understanding of these, although you have not actually ascertained what these are, and so on. So anyway, there are different levels of developing these three in one's mental continuum, and these three, as said before, provide domshi, the framework for tantric practice, and these are also needed in the common perfection vehicle.
Oh yeah, that is our. What is
Page 31,